In a previous video, I talked about how a lot of workplace friction comes down to communication and assumptions. If you haven't seen that one, you can check it out here. Today, I want to give you something practical, because here's the tricky part about assumptions. More often than not, you don't notice them. So how do you catch something you're not even aware you're doing? Here's an exercise I want you to try. Think about what professionalism looks like in your workplace. Not in theory, in your workplace with your team. What does it mean to you for an employee to show up as a professional? Start writing it down. Things like punctuality, politeness, appropriate dress, work ethic, whatever comes to mind. Now here's where it gets interesting. Go back through that list and pretend you're explaining each item to a first grader. Not the dictionary definition, the actual specific real world meaning. What does punctuality mean in your business? Does it mean arriving before your first client? Does it mean being clocked in and ready to work, not just walking through the door? Does it mean arriving 5 minutes early, or is right on time fine? Keep asking, but what does that actually mean, until you've gotten somewhere so specific that there is genuinely no room left for misinterpretation. Let me give you an example of why this matters. Imagine a manager who asks a staff member to set up a room for an event and to do it ahead of time. To the manager, ahead of time means at least an hour before. To the staff member, ahead of time means 30 minutes before, which is what they've always done at every other job they've had. So 45 minutes before start time, the room isn't ready, and suddenly you have a frustrated manager, a defensive employee, and a situation that feels like negligence, but is actually just two people who never realized they had completely different definitions of the same phrase. Neither of them is wrong. They just never established what the words actually meant. This is what unexamined assumptions do. They feel like dropped balls and bad attitudes and people who just don't care. But a lot of the time, what's actually happening is that nobody ever defined the ball. The assumptions are everywhere. The exercise is simple. Write down what you expect, then define it like you'd explain it to someone who has never heard the word before. Whatever you have left over, the stuff that's still vague, the stuff where you're thinking, well, obviously it means, that's where your communication problems are hiding. Now, assumptions aren't the only barrier to effective communication. There's something else that lots of people get wrong. If you want to hear more about that, watch this video next.